Good afternoon and welcome back to Game 5, the final game today from Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium. It's the final elimination game of the day, and this game will determine who goes to the championship here in Regional Number 1 in the Southeast region. Thomas Kendrick with you here, and it'll be North Greenville, who went down earlier in the afternoon, or actually this morning, to Limestone. They lost by a 4-1 score. They'll have a rematch, and we'll have a rematch of Game 1 of the 2017 Southeast Regional Number 1 as North Greenville will take on North Georgia. The Crusaders from North Greenville able to win the first game by a 2-1 score. And things will be much the same here in this ball game. It'll be another matchup between Kylie Smith and Amanda Coffin. Kylie Smith just got the win in Game 4 of the regional, our second game of the day, earlier on to put the Nighthawks in this position to advance to the championship game with a win. Their season is done with a loss, much the same for North Greenville. It's a 1-4 matchup here. Got starting lineups for you first. For North Georgia, leading off playing short, number 21, Sydney Sprague. Batting second in center, number 9, Steph Hartness. Batting third, the designated player, number 0, Alicia Frierson. Batting fourth, playing first, number 10, Jessica Finch. Batting fifth and right, number 5, Kaylin Anthony. Batting sixth, catching number 8, Shelby Hammondtree. Batting seventh, playing left, number 33, Alexi Duncan. Batting eighth at second, number 32, Jordan Deep. And batting ninth at third, number 7, Hannah McSwain. So the same lineup that we saw earlier in the game before this one. And so it'll be this lineup to take on Amanda Coffin here in the final game of the afternoon. The Nighthawks saw her in the first game yesterday. Were only able to score a single run in the 6th inning as they lost that first game by a 2-1 score. They will have to take the long route to the championship game with a win here if they want to get back there. The first pitch was a ball. The second one fouled off down the third base line. And this might be a little bit different of a North Georgia team that Coffin is facing here in her second time around against them. The Nighthawks were able to put up 8 runs en route to an 8-3 win just earlier. As a 1-1 pitch to Sprague is hit in the air into left field, and it'll be the left fielder Brooke Wade to make the catch for out number 1. So Sprague flies out to start the ball game. Amanda Coffin on the mound, 19-8, already a win in the regional for North Greenville, an ERA of 1.55, 34th appearance, 28th start, 20 complete games, 190 innings, 148 hits, 56 runs, 42 of them earned, 68 walks, 77 strikeouts, a 211 average against. Came in against Limestone earlier in the day out of the bullpen, through 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. She'll get the start here as the count 2-0 on Steph Hartness, who has been on fire the entire regional, has picked up 3 hits earlier this afternoon. Picked up 3 more against North Greenville yesterday, so 6 hits and 6 tries with a hit by pitch, and the count 3-0 on her. Mentioned that Coffin might be facing a little different lineup. That's because the Nighthawks really came out in that first game and were back to their old ways, getting runners in scoring position, driving them in. That's something they didn't do against North Greenville the first time around, and that's really going to be the key to this ball game as well for the offensive side of the things for North Georgia, is driving in those runs whenever those opportunities present themselves. That ball hit to short. Hartness going to beat that one out. As it's a base hit for Hartness. Rivers couldn't come up with the ball cleanly. And there's one away now for Alicia Frierson. First pitch here to Frierson in the zone for strike 1. Ryerson was able to pick up a hit and a walk in the first game. And the defense will set that behind Amanda Coffin in the circle, left to right. In the outfield, it'll be Wade in left. It'll be DeBoer in center, and it'll be Lee in right. It'll be Johnson at third, Erlong at first, Finley at second. Shortstop will be Kelsey Rivers. As that ball hit to third, the throw to second will be in time to throw to first. Ryerson just able to beat that one out. And so quickly 2 away in the inning. And it'll be Wagers behind the plate once again with Coffin in the circle. It's North Georgia. A runner on first with 2 away as Jessica Finch comes to the plate. Finch was able to pick up a hit, a couple RBIs in that first game. And the first pitch there misses from Coffin for ball 1. A power pitcher on the mound for North Greenville. Not an overpowering power pitcher, though. One that likes to run the ball in on the hands of hitters, keep it on the outside corner, keep it far enough away off the outer part where you can't extend on the ball as the 1-0 finds the inside corner there. Works her corners pretty well, so she gets a lot of easy outs, pop-ups, and ground balls right at fielders, and that's the way she is able to get her outs and be successful on the year. So you normally wouldn't see a ton of strikeouts out of her, but a good pitcher nonetheless. As that pitch high for ball 2, a fastball that she uses primarily. We'll see her throw an off-speed pitch in there as well. Let's count 2 balls and a strike now on Finch. And the 2-1. Ball is fouled back to the screen off the end of the bat. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Finch. Hit in the 9 spot for most of the games that we broadcast here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. But getting the move up into the 4-hole here for the Southeast Regional. And as we mentioned last broadcast, usually does her best hitting in the postseason. A swing and a miss there. And Coffin with the scoreless innings to start the top of the first innings. And North Georgia able to get on the board. The first time they batted first here at home in Game 2. They're held scoreless here by Amanda Coffin to start Game 3 of the afternoon. We head to the bottom of the first. And it's North Georgia 0, North Greenville coming to the plate here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
The Kylie Smith on the mound. Saw her last game for North Georgia as they played Lenore Ryan. Smith went 6 2/3, 7 hits, 1 run. That run was earned. No walks, 2 strikeouts. She came out before the start of the 6th inning. Came out of the ball game, that is. Bria Bush came in, faced 4 batters, gave up a solo homer, 3 hits, only got an out. So Smith had to re-enter. Threw 81 pitches in that ball game. So we'll see if that has any bearing on how far she goes in this one as well. And the 0-1 popped up foul territory. McSwain gives it a look, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Brooke Wade. It's leading off this ball game. The lineup looks like this. It'll be Wade leading off. Kelsey Rivers moves up to the 2-hole. Megan Johnson in the 3-hole. Caitlin Wagers batting 4th. Christy Riley, designated player, batting 5th. Kate Lee batting 6th. Morgan Herlong batting 7th. Grace DeBoer drops to the 8-hole. And Shayna Finley in the 9-hole, where she's been all tournament long. One, 2, and Wade able to stay alive there. Ball and 2 strikes, and that might be something that comes into play as well. If North Greenville can have long, drawn-out innings, might be able to chase Kylie Smith from this ball game early. We'll see how long Davenport is willing to let her throw, as that 1-2 was swung on and missed, and strikeout to start the ball game for Kylie Smith. The last time she threw against North Greenville yesterday, through 7 innings and got 9 strikeouts of this Crusader team. Gets a strikeout there, and that'll bring Kelsey Rivers, who hit a 2-run homer against her, that being Smith, in game 1 in the top of the 5th inning of that ball game. Earlier this morning, Rivers went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. It's count even at a ball and a strike now. And the 1-1 outside for ball 2. This North Greenville team has really relied on their pitching all year, in the top 25 coming into this regional in ERA. And it was the pitching that got them through in their first win of this regional against North Georgia. And Kelsey Rivers at the plate hit a 2-run homer, probably the only mistake that Kylie Smith really made all ball game long, as Smith only gave up 4 hits to this North Greenville squad. Only walked once, so 5 total base runners, as opposed to 7 for North Georgia. Count full here, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Rivers. And the delivery is fouled back to the screen. So we'll see if something gives here, if Kylie Smith is touched up any, or if North Greenville is unable to score enough runs to stay in this ball game, as that strikeout number 2 for Smith. And 2 strikeouts to start the ball game. And if you actually look at the top of at the first at bat for North Greenville in game 1, Kylie Smith was able to strike out the side. She was able to retire 7 straight to start the ball game. So a slow start against Smith, not necessarily the end of the world for North Greenville. The 0-1 outside for ball 1. You might want to get a few more runs on the board than those 2, and perhaps try to do it a little bit earlier as well. The wind blowing right to left. It was blowing that way for probably the second half of the first game between these 2 teams yesterday afternoon as well, so that could be a factor, with balls that are hit in the air down the left field line and into left center as well. So 1-2 count here on Johnson, who comes in a .351 hitter with 5 homers, 37 RBIs. And that pitch has popped up, foul territory, and it will not stay in play. Just skirts the net, probably about a foot above where Hammondry was standing, and she was very, very close to getting the third out there, but the ball just able to get a piece of the netting. It's a 1-2 count. Johnson in the first game between these 2 teams, 1 for 3, and earlier, actually that's 1 for 3 earlier today, picks up another base hit there with 2 outs. She was held 0 for 3 in the first game between these two teams. So she's 1 for 6 for the regional, make it 2 for 7 with that single. And that'll bring Caitlin Wagers, freshman catcher, to the plate, a .277 hitter on the year with 5 homers, 23 RBIs. Megan Johnson on first, 2 for 2 in stolen bases this year. And the first pitch by Smith here to Wagers finds the zone for strike 1. Good off-speed pitch called for a strike. So it's the final game of the day. Had 3 games today. Limestone moved on to the championship in the first game as they won 4-1 over this North Greenville side. North Georgia able to stave off elimination for the time being with an 8-3 win over Lenore Ryan, as that 1-1 fouled off down the third base line. But now these two teams facing off. The winner goes to the championship game, and the loser, their season is over. Smith back into the circle. She's ready and delivers. That pitch fouled off the helmet of Caitlin Wagers. A little bit of an odd occurrence there. Kind of opened up and took the swing, and when it hit off of the bat, it happened to come back and hit the helmet, actually knocked it to the side. It looks like she's okay down there. She'll head back and head back into the batter's box. Looks like she was kind of laughing it off there a little bit. But the count still a ball and 2 strikes. Smith stares in, and she's ready and delivers. And that ball is low for ball 2. In case you haven't seen Smith pitch, either in this regional or previously in the season, she's really a control pitcher. Finesse-type pitcher, likes to work the corners, use her off-speed pitches, and really run the fastball off of that. As the count full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there are 2 away in the inning. So she needs to hit her spots to be really successful today. As the 3-2 pitch missed down and in for ball 4. That's something else she doesn't do a lot of either. Doesn't walk a lot of hitters. But North Greenville with 2 runners on with 2 away here in their first at bat. That'll bring Christy Riley to the plate, who's a designated player. She's has a .279 average on the year, no homers, 8 RBIs. Riley 1 for 2 with the lone RBI in game 1 this morning for North Greenville. And that pitch missed outside for ball 1. He was 1 for 3 with a run scored against North Georgia yesterday. Came in on that Kelsey Rivers 2-run homer to left. And after 2 strikeouts to start the inning, Smith has given up a single and a walk and is behind 1-0 here to Riley. So a little bit of a rough patch here in the first. We'll see if she can pitch out of trouble here. McSwain even with the bag at third, as is Finch at first. And the pitch here finds the outside corner for strike 1, and the count even at a ball and a strike. So it was partly cloudy for the most part for game 2. It was gone overcast here, as there was rain forecasted today. It's been pushed back as the day has gone on. Swing and a miss there. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes. So Smith now 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. And it's currently 78 degrees. Looks like rain is forecasted for possible at 4 p.m. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Smith able to strike out the side here in the first, but gives up a single and a walk in the middle of that. We're through 1 complete, still scoreless here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Softball Championship, May 25th through 29th at Moyer Park in Salem, Virginia. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
It'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for North Georgia here to start the top of the second inning. That means it'll be Caitlin Anthony, Shelby Hammondtree, Lexi Duncan due up for North Georgia as they tried to get on the board first. Didn't score against this North Greenville squad and Amanda Coffrin until the 6th inning in Game 1. Tried to score more runs and tried to score them a little bit earlier as well. As Coffrin is finishing up her warm-up tosses. She and Kylie Smith, the starter for the Nighthawks, have both thrown earlier today. Coffrin in the game, first game this morning, went 3 innings out of the bullpen, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, one of them earned a walk and 3 strikeouts, so didn't really get off to the best of starts out of the pen. Started off pretty well here, giving up a 1-out single to Steph Hartness in the top of the first inning, but after that able to get a fielder's choice and a strikeout. Anthony steps in with a .364 average, 7 homers, 39 RBIs. That pitch missed low and in for ball 1. Anthony 2 for 3 in the game prior to this with an RBI and a run scored. 1 for 3 with a 2-out RBI in the bottom of the 6th inning and Game 1 between these two teams. Pitch missed low for ball 2. And that pitch is hit foul into foul territory and a nice running grab by Johnson at third for out number 1. So Anthony hits a pop foul to the third baseman Johnson, and that's going to bring Shelby Hammondtree to the plate. There's a .315 hitter coming into the ball game with 8 homers, 33 RBIs. She was able to pick up an RBI ground roll double in the game prior to this one. It's held hitless in this edition of the matchup yesterday. First pitch, Anthony is for strike 1. And the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, fouled it straight back to the screen, and Hammondtree had a hack at it. At the count, no balls, 2 strikes, as Coffrin has started this ball game out pretty well for North Greenville. And the 0-2 pitch. Caught the outside corner for strike 3. A perfect pitch there from Coffrin. And Hammondtree goes down looking for out number 2. That'll bring Lexi Duncan to the plate. 400 even is her average on the season. No homers, 4 RBIs. Picked up a single earlier this afternoon. Swings and fouls that one back to the screen. And the 0-1. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. You don't see that pitch very often by Coffrin, but she's very good when she does throw that off-speed pitch. Throws it in the perfect time to get strikes. And hitters normally don't swing at it. The 0-2 high and in for ball 1. And the pitch here, that ball is hit in the air into shallow left by Duncan, angling out and making the catch as Rivers at short. And that will retire North Georgia here in the top of the second inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Coffin. We head to the bottom half. And it's scoreless here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
6, 7, 8, the bottom half of the lineup due up for North Greenville against Kylie Smith here in the bottom of the second inning. As this is the third game of the day here in NCAA Southeast Regional number 1, game number 5 overall. Southeast Regional number 2 taking place down in Savannah, Georgia. Taking place with Carson Newman, the 2 seed overall in the Southeast. Armstrong State, the 3 seed overall in the Southeast. Young Harris, the 6 seed overall, and 5 for the 7th seed overall. It's actually the 2 seed Carson Newman, who's already been eliminated from that regional, as Armstrong State able to come up with a 4-1 win in an elimination game. They'll take on Young Harris. That game slated to start at 4 p.m. We've already had a team eliminated here. That was Lenore Rhine, and another one about to end their season at the conclusion of this ball game. So it's a 2-1 count here to Kate Lee. And the pitch. Ball is hit in the air, shallow right field. Anthony coming on. It'll land in foul territory as it was deep. Finch and Anthony who were converging on the ball. Anthony had the best shot to get that one, but unable to get there. So the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith getting her second start of the afternoon. Delivers a 2-2. That is hit to short. Sprague will glove, throw to first. Finch able to keep her foot on the bag with a nice stretch there. And that'll be out number 1. A ground out to short. And there's 1 away in the inning. It's action in the North Georgia bullpen. That's Amber Johns down there, up and working. Smith threw, Kylie Smith in the circle through 6 1/3 for North Georgia earlier this afternoon. In fact, didn't even have a break between games. There was about a 30-minute break, obviously, but not the break that Amanda Coffin on the mound had for North Greenville. And Smith threw 6 2/3 in that ball game, and has now come back and gotten the start here. So we'll see how far she goes in this ball game. Sure, she'll try to go as far as she can, but North Georgia with some action in the bullpen behind her just in case. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's the 4th strikeout of the ball game for Smith. And this is the first time I can recall that she's made back-to-back starts to start a ball game. We've seen her sometimes this year in doubleheaders come in and start the game and then come in and close it out for North Georgia, but with dire circumstances here in an elimination game, she's getting the start for the second game in a row. And the 0-1 pitch in there for strike 2. It's looked pretty sharp, though, in striking out 4 batters so far, getting a ground out and a strikeout here in the second inning. Up 0-2 here on Grace DeBoer as that pitch high and away for ball one. She got the strikeout of Morgan Herlong, who is a 7-hole hitter for North Greenville, trying to hold the Crusaders at bay here in this bottom of the second inning. And the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So Smith able to come back and get 2 more strikeouts. She's got 5 Ks through 2 innings. We're still scoreless as we head to the top of the third here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Think of the NCAA as a marching band. We wouldn't stop with halftime. We'd be full-time, celebrating student athletes in everything they do. Okay, so don't think of us as a marching band. Think of us as a spirit squad. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
Back here for the top of the third inning. We've had 2 complete scoreless innings so far in this ball game. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Nighthawks in the top of the second inning as they went down in order in the top of the second inning. It'll be 8-9-1 due up here in the top of the third. In this edition of the matchup yesterday afternoon in game number 1 of this regional, neither team scored until the top of the 5th when North Greenville hit a 2-run homer off the bat of Kelsey Rivers. North Georgia able to score in the bottom of the 6th as they got a 2-out RBI single from Kaylin Anthony. That was all the scoring that was done in that ball game, though. The first pitch here is hit up the middle. A diving stab by Finley. The throw to first. Going to be in time as that was a bang-bang play at first, but Finley able to make a really nice grab there and able to get to her feet and throw out deep at first for out number 1. Jordan robbed of a base hit there. And this North Greenville team, top 35, one of the top 35 teams nationally in fielding percentage, so a very good fielding team. First pitch here to Hannah McSwain, swung on and missed for strike number 1. McSwain, a .222 hitter coming into the ball game, but had a really big performance for the Nighthawks earlier this afternoon. Went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, including a 2-run homer. 1 pitch, fouled back to the screen, and no balls, 2 strikes quickly on her. The way things are setting up right now, looks like we'll have another classic duel between Amanda Coffran and Kylie Smith in this one. That off-speed pitch hit in shallow center, and the catch will not be made by Rivers. So McSwain with a 1-out single. She was able to swing at that off-speed pitch and stay back on it just enough to hit it into the middle of a converging left center and at shortstop. As we mentioned, you don't see a lot of times hitters even being able to pull the trigger on that one, but McSwain not only recognized that off-speed pitch, but was actually early on it as the first pitch. Hit in the air, high and deep to left. Wade goes back, and that ball is out of here for Sydney Sprague, who's able to hit a 1-out, 2-run homer to left. She was held hitless the first 2 times these teams matched up, but Sprague able to take that delivery, hit it out to left, hit it out in that wind, and hits her 11th homer of the year. That's RBIs number 36 and 37. And North Georgia able to take the lead first in this matchup and give Kylie Smith a 2-0 lead. And Amanda Coffran gives up multiple runs against the Nighthawks here in this ball game after holding them to only 1 run in the first edition. And that's the first time she's given up more than an earned run in an appearance so far in this regional as well. Steph Hartness will come to the plate. Harkness is 1 for 1 with a single. First pitch, that ball is hit on the ground to short. Rivers will make the catch, the throw across to get the speedy Harkness for out number 2. So a quick recovery there by Amanda Coffrin, able to retire Harkness for the first time in this regional. It's the first time Harkness has been retired in 2 games plus this one. She's been on fire for the Nighthawks. Alicia Frierson will look at strike 1 over the outer third. Frierson reached on a fielder's choice her first time up. Picked up a hit in 3 tries today with a run and an RBI. And that pitch missed low for ball 1. The count even at a ball and a strike. Wagers will personally take the ball out there to Coffrin and have a word with her. And Coffrin back in the circle. She's ready here. And delivers a 1-1. That missed outside for ball 2. It's North Georgia who's able to draw first blood in this one. Getting a 2-run homer off the bat of Sydney Sprague here in the top of the 3rd inning. That pitch missed low and in for ball 3. Sprague came into this ball game the team leader in homers. Now 11 home runs on the year out of the leadoff spot. 3-1 pitch is hit off the end of the bat. And ball will be picked up and the throw not in time by Coffrin to get Frierson. And so it'll be a runner on first with 2 away. Is Frierson able to reach on an error? And it'll bring Jessica Finch to the plate, who struck out her first time up. Is able to pick up a base hit against Coffrin in game 1 early yesterday afternoon. 1 for 3 there. And the first pitch to Finch finds the inside corner for strike 1. And a base knock and 2 RBIs. And North Georgia's first game today. The 0-1 pitch is hit in the air down the left field line. Home run distance, but just foul. Finch nearly hit one out there to left. Was out just a little bit out in front of that one. And the count, no balls, 2 strikes. And so Coffrin very nearly gave up a second 2-run homer of the inning. Finch back into the box. And the delivery is hit into right field for a base hit. And a nice job there by Lee to glove that one. The throw to third, and the ball gets there the same time as Frierson, but she's able to get into third ahead of the throw by Lee. Headed to second is Finch. So it's a single for Finch, and she'll be able to advance to second on the throw. Headed down to third is Frierson, so the Nighthawks able to put together a little bit of a 2-out rally here. And that'll bring Kaylin Anthony to the plate. As action now starting up in the North Greenville bullpen. Anthony 0 for 1, popped out to third to start the second inning. She was able to pick up the only RBI, drive in the only run for the Nighthawks in their game against North Greenville. On the day, Anthony is 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. And 2 more big runs looming out there on the base paths for the Nighthawks. And situations like these where they did well in the first game this afternoon, 2 outs. They were able to come up with some key base hits. They actually got a key base hit from Anthony herself, as we mentioned in that game 1. So we'll see if she can keep that trend going against this North Greenville team. With the uncertainty of how far Kylie Smith can go, the Nighthawks will want to see how many runs they can put up against this North Greenville team. Not an easy task, though, as we mentioned. Came in the top 25 in team ERA in the nation as that pitch hit off the end of the bat, and the catch will be made in foul territory by Herlong for out number 3. But North Georgia able to put 2 runs on the board on a Sydney Sprague 2-run homer to left. We head to the bottom half of the third. It's 2-0 North Georgia here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, Manti, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
Think of the NCAA as a spirit squad, cheering for student athletes at every big event and every small one. We'd be there in the classroom, at graduation, at their first job interview. Okay, so don't think of us as a spirit squad. Think of us as a mascot. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
And Kylie Smith back out there on the mound. She'll face 9-1-2 in this North Greenville lineup, but lurking here in the 9-hole, not too bad of a hitter, Shayna Finley, who's, after North Greenville's game earlier this morning, dipped below 300 in the batting average department. Does have 13 homers and 31 RBIs, so Smith will be thrown into the crucible to start this bottom of the third inning, trying to get a shutdown inning for the Nighthawks, who took a 2-0 lead in the top of the third inning on a Sydney Sprague 2-run homer. North Greenville will have to answer here. They've only got a hit in their first 2 at-bats. So Finley, who was held hitless in the first meeting and held hitless earlier this afternoon, will see strike 1. That pitch hit on the ground to short. Sprague will pick it up, throw across the diamond, pulls Finch off the bag, but a very nice play there by the North Georgia first baseman, able to come off the bag, grab the ball, tag Finley out at first for out number 1. Saves the error there from Sprague. As Kylie's now thrown 42 pitches here in this ball game. So with the pitch count earlier of 81. Now 43, that's 124 pitches on the afternoon for the North Georgia freshman. Still looks like she's got all of her stuff, though. The 0-1 pitch on the way. That's high for ball 1. Lineup now flips, and it'll be Brooke Wade to come to the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout earlier in this game. And that pitch fouled off into the netting in front of the North Greenville dugout. And a ball and 2 strikes now. Wade's still looking for her first hit of the regional, 0 for 5 so far. And that pitch is fouled off down the third base line. It's a 276 hitter headed into postseason play with no homers, 12 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch is fouled off down the first base line. She's able to stay alive. Really battled Smith her first time around, but eventually succumbed to the North Georgia freshman as she struck out. Kylie Smith striking out the side in the top of the first, much like she did in the top of the first in the first meeting between these two teams, but this time around, North Greenville able to threaten with runners on first and second before that final strikeout. And the 1-2. Ball is hit in the air down the third base line. Wade staying alive here. Action continues in the North Greenville bullpen. No one up for North Georgia currently. And the pitch is hit down the third base line into that North Greenville bullpen. And so Wade and Smith having a battle here. We'll see who's able to win the battle of wills. Wade back into the box. And the 1-2 pitch is hit to short. Sprague picks up, throws to first high. Finch able to make another nice tag there, as Sprague has really struggled to keep the ball down on throws so far this inning. And looks like the North Greenville player Wade went down after that a little. Looks like she took an off step to hit that bag. They'll attend to her, but Sydney Sprague pulls Finch off the bag again, but Finch able to get the tag this time around. A lengthy at bat that took place between her and Smith, as it's Smith who's able to win that battle once again. Wade's still looking for her first hit of the regional. She's been held hitless thus far. Kylie at 51 pitches through 2 2/3 innings so far. Struck out 5 batters, only given up a hit and a walk, so only 2 base runners afforded to North Greenville, who are looking to try to stay alive in this regional. The winner of this game will head to the championship game in Southeast Regional number 1 tomorrow afternoon to start at noon. They'll play Limestone, who have been able to win both of the games that they've played. Limestone took on Lenore Ryan and won by a 5-3 score in that first game. They won 4-1 against this North Greenville team earlier in the afternoon, and whichever team makes it out of this matchup will have to contend with a pitching staff that's been pretty good for Limestone. Saw Josie Weber throw for the Saints in that first game of the regional, through a complete game, only gave up an earned run and afforded just 3 base runners to this North Greenville team. So whoever ends up facing Limestone tomorrow will have quite the task ahead of them as well. We've seen some really good pitching from all the teams so far in the regional. As there will be 2 away. One of those really good pitchers has been Kylie Smith, who now up to this point, 7 innings, 2 runs in a 2-1 loss. Picked up the win last time around, only gave up 1 run, so she's given up 3 runs in 13 2/3 innings. Swing and a miss there. Coming into this ball game, 2 2/3 innings more of scoreless play, so she's really come up clutch for North Georgia from the circle in this regional. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch, and quickly no balls, 2 strikes on Kelsey Rivers, who was able to turn that Kylie Smith mistake in her loss earlier this regional into a 2-run homer to left. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Smith comes back and strikes her out, gets another 1-2-3 inning, her second consecutive 1-2-3 inning, settling into this ball game. We're through 3 complete, 2-0 North Georgia here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
And back here for the top of the 4th inning. And it's Amanda Coffin back on the mound for North Greenville to start the top of the 4th. Has given up 2 runs on a Sydney Sprague 2-run homer in the top of the 3rd. She will have to contend with the 6, 7, 8 hitters in the North Georgia lineup here in this top of the 4th. It'll be Christy Riley to make her way into left field as she replaces Brooke Wade. First pitch here to Hammondtree over part of the plate for strike 1. Riley was a designated player to start this ball game, but having to come in due to what looked like Brooke Wade taking a tumble over there at first, trying to beat out a throw. Not sure if that was the issue or not. She had to be helped off the field. We won't speculate about that. Either way, Riley, the one out and left now. And a swing and a miss there. No balls, 2 strikes to Hammondtree. Riley was a designated player in the game earlier today and in game 1. So, from what I've seen, this is her first action in the field of the regional. We'll see how she handles the left field duties, especially with the wind from time to time gusting and blowing out that way. Could make things a little tricky for whoever's out there in left. And the 0-2 here to Hammondtree. She stays back on the off-speed pitch, but pops it up on the infield, and Finley will make the catch for out number 1. These North Georgia hitters are picking up that off-speed pitch and just not been able to stay back on it, not able to pick it up out of the hand quick enough to perhaps stay back on it more than they would the fastball. As Lexi Duncan comes to the plate, she's 0 for 1. The first pitch is hit in the air into shallow center, and that will be caught by Rivers as she makes a basket catch with her back to the infield. So a nice catch there by the shortstop for out number 2. So a pair of fly ball outs for Coffin to start this top of the 4th inning. And that'll bring Jordan Deep to the plate. She was robbed of a base hit her last time up, as Finley at second made a nice diving stab and throw to get her first pitch high and in for ball 1. Go back to that off-speed pitch, though. From what we've seen from Coffin in her first 2 appearances, a lot of hitters weren't even picking it up and were really freezing on it, but North Georgia able to make the adjustment. Hannah McSwain especially singled with 1 out off of that off-speed pitch in the top of the 3rd inning, came around to score on Sydney Sprague's 2-run home run. So we'll see if North Georgia hitters are able to stay back on that off-speed pitch more, and if Coffin decides to use it more here in the rest of this ball game, as the count 3 balls, no strikes on Deep now. Aforementioned Hannah McSwain on deck, and then Sydney Sprague in the hole. This time is called. And the 3-0 pitch over the outside corner for strike 1. So Coffin will have to come all the way back here. Doesn't walk too many batters, only 68 in 190 innings. As that pitch up and in for ball 4, but deep, able to pick up a 2-out walk there. That'll bring McSwain to the plate, who's 1 for 1 with that single and run scored in the top of the 3rd inning. Hit a 2-run homer, had a single in the game earlier this afternoon, had a single in the first game for North Georgia as well. So she's swinging a hot bat at the right time for the Nighthawks. See if she can keep the inning going for North Georgia. Jumps that one foul down the third base line. So there's now action in the North Georgia bullpen. Double barrel action. That's Bria Bush down there along with Kristen Atkins. And the 0-1 pitch. Off speed pitch, and McSwain recognized it, but just unable to get the barrel of the bat on it. No balls, 2 strikes. Seen that more from Coffran here, her second time around facing North Georgia. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss from McSwain, and Coffran able to strike her out to end the top of the 4th inning. So the Nighthawks get a 2-out walk. Nothing more. They're retired in the top half of the 4th. We head to the bottom half. It's 2-0 North Georgia here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
Take the pledge at itsonus.org and be a part of the solution.
We are challenging every Division II campus to take the pledge, to make a statement, and to make sexual assault unacceptable, because
it's on us!
3-4-5 due up for North Greenville here to face Kylie Smith, who's back for her 4th inning of work. Has been a rubber arm for the Nighthawks, both in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament and in this regional as well. In the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, she went 17 innings as the Nighthawks played 3 games in that tournament. She went 17 innings in those 3 games, gave up 8 hits, no runs, a walk, 20 strikeouts. So far in this regional, she's thrown 16.2 innings pitched, has given up 4 runs. Struck out 9 in game 1. Struck out 2 in game 2. Has 5 more strikeouts here in game 3. There's the 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball 1. The count even at a ball and a strike. She's trying to go as far as she can in this ball game. Trying to get North Georgia to the championship game tomorrow. Championship game for this regional is set for 12 p.m. The if necessary game set for 12:30. If the team that wins this ball game can beat Limestone in the first one tomorrow. It's a 1-2 count here to Johnson, who's singled her first time up. And that 1-2 is popped up on the infield into shallow left field, just on the cut of the grass. Sprague able to make the catch for out number 1. That'll bring Caitlin Wagers to the plate. She walked her first time up, a .277 hitter with 5 homers, 23 RBIs. And North Greenville only been able to put 2 runners on base. Have been set down in order the last 2 innings as that ball hit in the air to left. And Duncan able to make the catch for out number 2. So quickly 2 outs for Smith, and that's what she needs as she threw a number of pitches, 81 in the first game this afternoon, and was a game directly before this, so it's not like she had a game in between to rest. She was right back out there for North Georgia and has thrown 58 pitches in this one. That pitch is fouled off down the third base line. And the 0-1 here is hit in the air into left field. Duncan coming on. She'll make the catch for out number 3. A quick 3 up, 3 down for Smith. That's 3 straight innings, and she has sat down the Crusaders in order. We head to the top of the 5th. Still a 2-0 lead in favor of North Georgia here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction and knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
And top of the order due up for North Georgia. Here in the top of the 5th inning, it'll be Sprague, Hartness, and Frierson, as they will face Coffran for another inning. It was Sydney Sprague who got the scoring off to start for the Nighthawks and drove in the only 2 runs of the game for North Georgia in the top of the 3rd inning. She hit a 2-run homer to left. So Coffran will have to be careful with her. Leadoff hitter does have good speed, but has perhaps non-traditional power out of the top spot in the lineup. So a little bit of a hybrid player up top for North Georgia. She can get on base and steal bases, but can also hit the ball out of the ballpark for you. First pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1. Sprague had a hit and 5 tries, scored a run last ball game earlier this afternoon. The 0-1, low for ball 1, so she's got 2 hits in this regional, but one of those hits the difference in this elimination game. And the only 2 runs North Georgia has scored so far. And the 1-1 pitch is on the way. Missed outside for ball 2. So 2-1 in favor of Sprague here as the sky continues to darken here in Dahlonega. Rain was in the forecast. The last time I saw it was supposed to start raining at 4 o'clock, but that hadn't happened yet. 2-1 pitch is ripped down the left field line, foul. As the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's told it's a 70% chance of rain at 5, but looking at the forecast, it's saying that probably no rain going to happen now as that 2-2 pitch fouled up in front of the plate, and the catch will be made by the catcher Wagers for out number 1. So pop up to the catcher is how North Georgia starts. But anybody that's spent time in Dahlonega will know that weather does what it wants here. Some of the craziest weather patterns you'll experience anywhere, as it'll be snowing one day here in Dahlonega, and the next day, quite literally, it'll be 70 degrees. So never really sure what's going to happen with the weather here. As the wind continues to swirl at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium, the 0-1 pitch outside for ball 1. We'll hope that the weather holds off and we're able to finish this ball game up before anything gets into town. And the pitch missed high for ball 2 to Steph Hartness, who was retired for the first time in the regional. Her last at bat, a ground out to short. And the 2-1. That ball is hit into left field, so Hartness picks up another base hit there. She's 2 for 3 in this game. Had a couple of doubles and a triple earlier this afternoon. Had single, double, and a triple in game 1. So she's got 8 hits on the Super Regional and 9 at-bats. Hitting the ball about as well as you can, and has been on base constantly for the Nighthawks as Alicia Frierson comes to the plate. She's 0 for 2. First pitch, high and away for ball 1. Frierson reached on a fielder's choice in the first, reached on an error and advanced to third, but was stranded there in the third. 1-0 pitch here is inside for ball 2. Frierson was 4 for 9 in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, 10 for her last 19 coming into this regional. So has fallen on a bit of hard times here as the 2-0 pitch is hit to short, and the runner in motion perhaps caused that ball to be caught by Rivers. Hartness was going. Frierson made good contact, but it brought Rivers directly into the path of the ball. She throws to first to complete the double play. So North Georgia turned away once again. Here at the top of the 5th, we head to the bottom half. It's still 2-0 in favor of the Nighthawks here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
Think of the NCAA as a marching band. We wouldn't stop with halftime. We'd be full-time, celebrating student athletes in everything they do. Okay, so don't think of us as a marching band. Think of us as a spirit squad. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
6, 7, 8 due up for North Greenville here in the bottom of the 5th. It's getting late for the Crusaders and their campaign to stay alive in this regional. And the first pitch here to the first hitter of the inning is hit right back to Smith, who gloves it for out number 1. I didn't even get a chance to introduce Kate Lee as she gets a soft liner back to Smith for out number 1, and another quick start to the inning for Kylie, who has thrown now 146 pitches in this afternoon. First pitch finds its own there for strike 1. And at the plate, Morgan Herlong. She is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And the 0-1 pitch. Check swing, she went. No balls, 2 strikes. The thing here is that Smith hasn't really been under a lot of, let's just say, pressure, not a lot of really high-stress pitches, which is something you hear talked about a lot in baseball. So high-stress pitches would be those where runners are on base, you know, long at-bats, runners in scoring position, those that perhaps the pitcher bears down on a little bit more. Hasn't really been too much of that this afternoon for Smith, so she's looked pretty good throughout this afternoon. Ball and 2 strikes. See if she can continue to keep these North Greenville hitters off base, and if she's really able to do that, yeah, she has the last 3 innings, should be able to finish this one off for the Nighthawks. A swing and a miss there for strike 3. Another strikeout for Smith. That's her 7th And that's out number 2 in the inning. And that'll bring up Grace DeBoer, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well. So Kylie had 9 strikeouts against North Greenville first time around, 7 more this afternoon through 4 2/3 as that pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1. And a lot of times with high pitch counts, want to look to see if the pitcher is still sharp, able to hit their spots, and Smith's been able to do that. That pitch missed high for ball 1, and maybe able to throw more pitches in the realm of softball than baseball with the motion coming underhand, but still don't want to run your pitcher out there and make them throw a ton of pitches. But Smith not having to do that in this inning, as she's able to get another 1-2-3 inning, able to record 2 of the putouts herself. And we head to the top of the 6th with North Georgia still leading 2-0 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
This would be a great day to play perfect, wouldn't it?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
And for North Georgia, it'll be 4-5-6 due up for them in the top of the 6th inning. They were turned away on a line-out double play to start the top of the 5th inning. So look to add more insurance runs here in the top of the 6th, able to get their only 2 runs of the ball game off of Amanda Coffrin. Sydney Sprague hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 3rd. It's been the only scoring so far. 2 runs on 5 hits for North Georgia. Haven't committed an error. No runs, a single solitary hit for North Greenville. And they have committed an error as well. So Jessica Finch into the box, 1 for 2 on the day. The first pitch to her, high for ball 1. Last time up, she was able to pick up a single, but earlier in that at bat, hit a ball at home run distance to left, but went just left of the pole. We'll see if she can get an extra base hit here to start the inning off for the Nighthawks. The 1-0 pitch. Off speed, outside for ball 2. And that's another thing we're going to watch as long as Coffrin is out there for North Greenville. She's been using that off-speed pitch a good bit, and really from what she's shown of it so far, not really good command of it side to side or up and down the zone, really just a off-speed pitch in the truest sense of the word to keep the hitter off balance. But here in this ball game especially, and as we're getting later in it, North Georgia has been able to pick up that pitch out of the hand a little bit more and are getting closer and closer to staying back on it. And if that trend continues, you have to think that one of these North Georgia hitters that has pretty good power might run into one of those off-speed pitches. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. As the 2-1 pitch is on the way here to by Coffrin. That ball is hit in the air to left field. Going back and making the catch out there is Riley. So her first real test out there in left as Finch hit that ball pretty well, but Riley able to make the catch for out number 1. It was Brooke Wade who came in playing left field, but had to leave with some help from the field after trying to beat out a throw at first. As Kaylin Anthony comes to the plate, first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. Anthony's 0 for 2 with a pair of foul ball outs in this ball game. Had a couple of hits in the game earlier this afternoon. Had a hit against North Greenville in game 1. That off-speed pitch there, able to find the zone for strike 2. Coffin ready and delivers an 0-2. It's hit in the air, popped up on the infield shortstop. Rivers going to make the easy catch for out number 2, so 2 up and 2 down in the inning for the Nighthawks as Shelby Hammondtree comes to the plate. So Hammondtree, so for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-up as well. And the first pitch here is high and away for ball 1. Shelby had an RBI ground rule double earlier this afternoon. Was held hitless in game 1, so a little bit of a struggle in the regional for her as well. It's really been the pitching that, well, the offense came alive last game. As that pitch is hit in the air into right field and over the head of Lee and right. Hammondtree rounds first. She's into second with a 2-out double. Hammondtree picks up her first hit of the ball game. Offense came alive in the first game this afternoon when the Nighthawks pushed 3 runs across the board. The pitching has really been the highlight for North Georgia. It's really been Kylie Smith on the mound as well, as we'll have a pinch runner. Allison Neely to pinch run for the Nighthawks. Smith has been able to give up only 4 runs and close to 20 innings pitched. She's at 18.2 innings pitched. If she finishes the ball game, she'll be 20 innings in 2 days of only 4-run ball. It's the first pitch here by Duncan is fouled off down the left field line. So Neely out at second for the Nighthawks has scored 23 runs, 7 for 7 in stolen bases. That off-speed pitch low for ball 1. So good runner out there at second. Also gives catcher Hammondtree a chance to rest before she heads back out for the bottom of the 6th. And the 1-1 pitch is hit to short. Rivers will glove, throw across to first for out number 3. So the 2-out double is not taken advantage of by North Georgia. They're turned away in the 6th. We head to the bottom half with the score 2-0 in favor of North Georgia here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks. Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Two up for the Crusaders here as they face Kylie Smith, who has sat down 13 straight in this ball game, has gotten 4 straight 1-2-3 innings. As she is really rounding into form late in this ball game. In fact, except for a 2-batter hiccup in the first inning that allowed the only 2 base runners to the game for North Greenville, she's been able to really contain the Crusaders. First pitch here, swing and a miss by Finley. 0-1. Finley, the team leader in homers with 13, hitting out the 9 hole, has yet to pick up a hit this regional. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Another good off-speed pitch there from Smith. No balls, 2 strikes. Smith continues to throw the ball well like she has That's her. She'll probably finish out this ball game. Gets a swing and a miss for the strikeout there. That's out number 1 in the ball game. Make it 14 straight sat down by the North Georgia freshman. Flip the lineup. And it'll be Brooke Wade who will come to the plate. Wade grounded out to short in the third and really came up gimpy after that. Had to leave the field. Well, had to be helped off the field. She was thrown out, so she would have had to leave anyway, but good to see her back in the ball game. Faces an 0-1 count here from Smith, who looks in and comes set, delivers. That pitch has popped up, and it'll get over the screen for strike 2. So Smith quickly ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. She continues to come right after these North Greenville hitters. Looking for the strikeout here, and just missed outside. Wade able to hold up. Good pitch off the outside corner. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Back with the pitch, and that ball, swing off the handle. A nice play off the mound by Smith, able to throw to first for out number 2. So quick reflexes there as Wade with the swing nearly could have had a base hit there as it caught everyone off guard. But 2 up, 2 down, and it'll bring Kelsey Rivers to the plate. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Smith really shutting her down today. Rivers hit a 2-run homer off of her first time these two teams met. Pitch missed outside for ball 1, but hasn't even gotten a sniff at getting a base hit against Smith today, who seems like she has saved her best stuff for the 2-hole hitter from North Greenville. And an off-speed pitch there. Rivers was trying to go yard and came up empty, count even. Smith back with the 1-1. And that ball hit off the end of the bat. Ball and 2 strikes. And she is looking for her 5th straight 1-2-3 inning. And it's really been dominant today for North Georgia. Been able to locate all of her pitches and all of them. Really throwing the ball where she wants to. Hasn't really made a mistake today. The 1-2 pitch outside for ball 2. In the first game, she did give up 7 hits, but didn't walk anybody. 7 hits to Lenore Ryan, who have one of the best offenses in the nation. Not too shabby of a job. That's a 2-2 missed outside for ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here to Rivers. And just come back and really shut down this North Greenville attack. Full count pitch. Yeah, swung on and missed. And so Smith able to get 2 strikeouts in the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning, her 5th straight. She has sat down 16 straight North Greenville hitters. We head to the top of the 7th. North Georgia looking to put more runs on the board before the bottom half of the 7th here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass. And cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, Manti, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
And looks like we have a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, as looks like it'll be Haley Robinson to pinch hit for Jordan Deep. We'll wait for the announcement to be made there, but Robinson 3 for 12 on the year, a homer, 5 RBIs. She'll get an at-bat here with the Nighthawks up 2-0. To lead off this inning, Hannah McSwain to follow, and then Sydney Sprague in the hole. First pitch finds the zone there for strike one. Looks like first pitch. And the game has started down in Savannah between familiar foes, Young Harris and Armstrong State, in the other part of this regional, as that ball hit the center and is caught by DeBoer out there as Robinson really squared that ball up, but unfortunately hit it pretty close to DeBoer. She's able to make the catch for out number one. That'll bring Hannah McSwain to the plate. It's 1 for 2 with a run scored, a single and a strikeout. But Young Harris and Armstrong playing in NCAA Southeast Regional number 2. That's an elimination game, so the host, Armstrong State, who are the 3 seed, could potentially be knocked out of that tournament or out of that regional, and we could see a 7-6 matchup for the championship down there tomorrow. 1-0 pitch is chopped foul down the third base line, so the count even at a ball and a strike. No one half of the championship game there in Savannah. That's Pfeiffer. We know one half of the championship game here. That's Limestone. We're trying to figure out the second half, and the other team that will play tomorrow at noon. If the result holds, it'll be North Georgia who lead 2-0 here. Pitch to McSwain outside. As North Georgia have been able to get the better of North Greenville and Amanda Coffrin in the circle here the second time around. It was a Sydney Sprague 2-run homer in the third, and it gave the Nighthawks the lead in their only runs of the ball game. 2-1 pitch is hit the third. Johnson will glove throw across the diamond to first for out number 2. In fact, those are the only runs of the ball game. North Greenville really been shut down today by Kylie Smith, who has only given up a hit and a walk. Only 2 base runners. Those came all the way back in the bottom of the first inning, so they'll have quite the task to face to try to get 2 runs in the bottom half of the inning. Sydney Sprague comes to the plate, and the first pitch there on the black of the plate for strike one. Sprague is 1 for 3 with that 2-run homer to left. It was her 11th homer of the year, RBIs number 36 and 37. And it's the 0-1 pitch. Missed outside that one, just a little bit too far off the plate, and the count even. If Sprague can reach Steph Hartness in the on-deck circle, who has only been retired once, has picked up 8 hits and 9 tries in this regional, is on deck. The 1-1 pitch low for ball 2 as that one bounced to the plate. It's Coffrin having to go to more and more of those off-speed pitches to try to keep these North Georgia hitters from timing that fastball. And the 2-1. Ball is hit too short. Rivers will glove throw to first, and looked like Herlong was able to get back on the bag in time for out number 3. So the Nighthawks go down in order, and they're half of the 7th. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Last at bat for North Greenville, who need 2 runs to tie, 3 to win, and advance to tomorrow's championship game here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Think of the NCAA as a spirit squad, cheering for student athletes at every big event and every small one. We'd be there in the classroom, at graduation, at their first job interview. Okay, so don't think of us as a spirit squad. Think of us as a mascot. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
And it'll be 3-4-5 due up for North Greenville here in the bottom of the 7th, down to their last 3 outs. And they will try to put a 2 spot on the board, something they have not done since the first game, and really the 5th inning of that game. Being held to 2 total base runners. Kylie Smith has sat down the last 16 in order, and the first pitch is hit foul down the first baseline. North Greenville have only scored 3 total runs in this regional, but have a win to show for it. So that's almost 20 innings of play, and they've scored 3 runs, but have a 1-1 record. North Georgia has held to 1 run in that ball game, scored 8 earlier this afternoon. They have a 1-1 record here coming into this game as well, but they are the ones on top right now by a 2-0 score. As the count, no balls, 2 strikes to the 3-hole hitter, Megan Johnson, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a pop out to short. And the pitch here, so barely gets a piece of it as Johnson, as looked like she was just able to get enough to stay alive in the at-bat. That's still 0-2 to her. 0-2 pitch. That ball is hit back to Smith, and a 1-3 ground out is how we start the inning. Johnson is retired and so far has the only hit for North Greenville today. As Kylie Smith has been able to sit down 17 in order now and has really settled into this ball game after the first. It looked like she might run into a bit of fatigue in that inning as she got a couple of strikeouts as that pitch hit in the air to left, and Duncan coming in will make the easy catch for out number 2. Smith got a couple of strikeouts to start that bottom of the first inning, gave up a single and a walk, struck out the designated player Riley. He's now in left for the 3rd out, and since then has really handled this North Greenville lineup pretty easily. There are 2 outs now in the inning. North Greenville down to their last out of the season. First pitch here is popped up in a shallow left field, and they'll stay alive for the time being. Duncan able to play the weird bounce there, and that bloop hit is the first hit since the bottom of the first inning, and it's Riley who's able to keep North Greenville in the game. Smith threw 84 pitches in the first game this afternoon, 86 more in this ball game. So she's thrown 170 pitches. As that first pitch missed for ball 1. She's thrown a ton of pitches today, but has stayed sharp throughout the afternoon. As the 1-0 pitch is hit foul down the first baseline. Count even at a ball and a strike, going for her 16th complete game of the season. And the 1-1 pitch, low for ball 2. So Lee able to lay off the off-speed pitch. Kate Lee at the plate with 3 homers on the year. Saw an unlikely 2-run homer in the win by Kelsey Rivers as that pitch finds its own for strike 2. The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lesson there, any mistake at any time could be the difference in a ball game. Smith comes back and delivers a 2-2 that is swung on and missed. And North Georgia able to pick up the 2-0 win here. Kylie Smith goes to complete game effort, shuts out North Greenville, gives up 3 total runners, only 2 hits. And the Nighthawks will move into the championship game tomorrow. That is scheduled for 12 p.m. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the final game of the afternoon here for you on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Softball Championship, May 25th through 29th at Moyer Park in Salem, Virginia. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
This would be a great day to play perfect, wouldn't it?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
And it's a 2-0 win for North Georgia here in the final elimination game of the day. Nighthawks had to win 2 games to get to the championship game, and they were able to do that as they were able to beat Lenore-Ryan by an 8-3 margin and able to shut out North Greenville here by a 2-0 score. Picking up the win for the Nighthawks, Kylie Smith picks up her 22nd win. She goes to complete game effort. He only gave up 2 hits, a walk, no runs, struck out 10, as North Georgia able to come back and beat North Greenville and move on to the championship game. Lost 2-1 to them in the very first game of the regional, but able to exercise their demons, so to speak, here, as Sydney Sprague with a 2-run homer to left field provides the Nighthawks with the only runs that they needed. Only needed 1, got 2, so it was a little bit more of a comfortable 7th inning when it was Kylie Smith who was dominant today. Amanda Coffrin only gave up 2 runs, gets a tough loss against the Nighthawks, but that's a run more than she gave up the first time around where she got the win and held the Nighthawks to a run. She drops to 19-9 on the year. North Greenville, 2 hits, one of them came from Megan Johnson. She was 1 for 3. Christy Riley 1 for 4. And North Georgia will move on tomorrow to the championship game at 12. The first game of the game today was between Limestone and North Greenville. Limestone able to get a 4-1 win in that game. They got 2 runs in the 3rd and got a strong performance, well, a run in the 5th and a run in the 6th, and a strong performance from Josie Weber, who went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits and only 1 run. So then North Georgia played Lenore-Ryan, put 8 runs on the board. And McSwain hit a 2-run homer for the Nighthawks. Saw Steph Hartness pick up 3 more hits. And Kylie Smith went 6 2/3, only gave up 1 run in total. And Kylie would throw 7 more in this ball game, so a total of 13.2 innings on the day through 172 pitches, and gave the Nighthawks the chance to come back tomorrow and play another game. We'll be back on shortly before that 12 p.m. first pitch But for all of us here at the Nighthawk Sports Network, we can say have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow for some championship-based softball.